All right, I've got a soap that I have had in my closet over the years. That's Dove soap. This is not an ad. This is just literally what I had. We're answering lots of questions about soap today. Let's start out with the question rather, about antibacterial soap. Now, you've probably seen like antibacterial soaps like on the shelves and stuff, and you may be wondering, is it safer and healthier to use an antibacterial soap than say just a regular soap? Okay. The idea of antibacterial sounds like it means like no bacteria. Antibacteria sounds good. Interestingly enough, the answer is no. Antibacterial soaps are not necessarily any better than regular soaps. We don't have enough evidence that shows that antibacterial soaps actually prevent illness better than regular soaps. So go ahead and keep using that regular soap. By the way, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle. It's good to see you. I love talking about soaps, washing, bathing, all of that stuff. Oh, just a little note about loofahs. I've said this in some of my other videos. I'm not a fan of loofahs. How many of you use a loofah? Look, I'm not trying to be offensive if you like loofahs. I just don't like them because they can be a really amazing, and not a good way, breeding ground for bacteria. I do like washcloths. Now, you're probably saying, well, they can breed bacteria too. Yes, they can. They have to be washed. They have to be hung out to dry, etc. But I just feel like there may be something better about one single cloth rather than that mesh. My personal feeling. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about soap. Oh, and you don't want to go anywhere because I'm going to answer the age-old question of, is soap inherently dirty? Look, I've had friends throughout my life who will not share a bar of soap to wash each other's body. Like, not wash each other's body like they're going to wash you. But you know what I mean? Like, they prefer to have their own bar of soap, even visiting other people's houses and things like that, assuming that there's no liquid soap. Let me know if that's how you feel. I'm going to answer the question if soap is dirty and if it can transmit illness. Okay, how does soap work? Soap, and it gets really techy, but I'm not going to get all into the weeds, but let me just tell you. Soap basically works to, especially when you lather it up and all that kind of stuff, it basically works to sort of lift up dirt, germs, oil, debris, and stuff like that so that you can wash it off your hands. Okay, that's the real quick and dirty way that soap works, okay? It works to sort of break up stuff and allow the gunk to be washed off, which we love, okay? Now, you may be saying, but Dr. Jen, I know you're going to answer the question of, is soap dirtier? Like, is it dirty? But before you answer it, this might be what you're saying. Doesn't soap get germs on it? The answer is yes. There are germs in everything, right? Like, literally everything. Oh, like on my microphone over here that I literally realized I just forgot to plug in. Okay, this video is being done without a microphone. Germs are on our hands. Germs are also on soap. And I would say, if you've got a bar of soap like this to wash your hands, which I'm totally fine with, when you have it in like your soap dish or whatever, that's when I get a little bit more like about it, right? You know how it sits in like one of those little like the soap dishes, and it can get wet and like gunky and sticky and whatever. That probably is not the best thing. If you're able to set your soap out on a surface that's got grates, it can dry, that is the most ideal. But that then brings us to this idea of, is soap dirty? I'm going to put this in because it's like feeling, it's not melting, but it feels like super fed on my fingers. Anyway, is soap dirty? Well, soap is going to have dirt on it. But the dirt's going to wash off. Okay, so let's say you're using a bar of soap and you've got your germs and whatever. The thing is, as you're washing your hands and rinsing off that soap, those germs are going to rinse off the soap. In fact, we do have some data that says we're not likely to transfer bacteria via soap, meaning you use a soap on your body, you rinse it off because you can rinse the soap off and bacteria should come off as well. You hand it to someone else to use. We're not likely to transmit bacteria that way via soap, which is very good news, meaning we don't worry so much about the inherent, like say, dirtiness or cleanliness of soap. Now, I can understand you not wanting to share a bar of soap with someone else. I get that. But I do want you to remember, if you wash the soap off, you kind of keep it sanitary, you're probably going to be okay. And we don't have a lot of strong evidence that shows that using soap, different people using it, etc., is a great vehicle for transmitting bacteria. So it's still to say, use your common sense, right? Like, let's use common sense. If you've got open lesions, open wounds, things like that, I don't know that I'd be sharing anything with anyone else. Okay. And it still may not be a good idea to share your bar of soap, but should we think of soap as being a dirty thing? No. Okay. All right. Well, I hope that's helpful. Write in the comments. Let me know what you think, what you do, what kind of soap you use. Do you use bar soap or do you get liquid soap? By the way, another pro to bar soap is that it tends to be cheaper than liquid soap. Liquid soaps can be pretty expensive. So let me know what you think, how you do things, and just maybe keep the bar soap out of the soap dishes because then it gets kind of gunky. Guys, I'm Dr. Jen Caudle, practicing family physician, on-air health expert and video creator. I do daily videos. Please follow me on Facebook. Please subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Click the little bell for updates. Also, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, WhatsApp, etc. Also, sign up for my free health newsletter at drjencaudle.com. Love y'all. Bye.